And if they're not flat on the floor, just go ahead and scoot up a little bit on the edge of your chair. It's important to have good posture anyway, so this will encourage you to sit up nice and tall with your spine straight rather than hanging out into the chair. So we'll start with our chair. You'll need your massage ball, your strap, and 2 blocks. And we'll start with a paragraph about nadi shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing. I know many of you enjoy this type of breath work. And so we're going to do a little bit of intro about really what it's about in the yogic tradition, and then we'll practice it to start. And I chose this breathing technique for today because we have so much going on in the world, and it's really important to balance the right and left hemispheres of our brain and to keep ourselves alert yet steady and calm. So I'll read this little excerpt here. Did you know that over the course of the day, we breathe more predominantly through one nostril for about 90 minutes and then switch to the other nostril? Ancient yogis believed that there's a science behind which side we're breathing through and how to use it to be more productive or to relax. They thought that breathing in through the left nostril accesses the right or the feeling hemisphere of the brain and helps with relaxation, whereas breathing in through the right side of the nostril activates the left or the thinking side of the brain and can help energize the mind and body. Consciously alternating between the 2 sides helps activate and access the entire brain and unites our left and right sides. And so even if it all sounds a little strange, really what matters is the effect that you feel after you practice. So I encourage you to notice how you feel right now. And then we'll go into nadi shodhana, or alternate nostril breath. For those of you who this is new for, or for anyone accessing the video, I'm going to walk you through it. So we'll place the left hand on the lap, and the right hand will be on the face. The first 2 fingers, the peace fingers, can rest at the forehead between the eyes, and you'll alternate between using your thumb to close the right side of the nostril and your ring finger to close the left side of the nostril, just going back and forth. For the left hand, if you want to go into a mudra, you can also do Jnana mudra. So you can take your thumb and your index finger and bring them together and rest your hand palm up on your lap if you'd like. So we'll start with nadi shodhana. So resting those 2 fingers on the forehead, go ahead and just take a breath in through the nose and let it out. Now, if for some reason one of your nostrils is completely, stuffy and you're not able to do the breath, it's okay. Just rest your hand on your belly and do some mindful belly breaths. Otherwise, you're going to take a nice breath in, let it out. Close your right nostril with your thumb and breathe in through the left. Close the left nostril, breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Close the right and exhale through the left. Inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Continue on your own for several rounds. Take another round, ending with an exhale through the left nostril. When you're complete, let your hands rest on your lap, palms up or down, whatever feels most comforting for you. Feel your feet on the floor. Notice how your body and mind feel after just a couple of moments of alternate nostril breathing. Breathing in, I am grateful for this breath. Breathing out, I am grateful for this moment. Breathing in, I am grateful for this breath. Breathing out, I am grateful for this moment. This breath. This moment. This breath. This moment. Allow that calming breath to affect the body and the mind, to calm the waves and the thoughts in the mind. Feel your seat on your chair. Notice the contact points of your seat and your feet. Imagine that they could get a little bit heavier, that you could root down a bit more into this support, into this dwelling place. Dropping from the mind, the busyness of the mind, into the wisdom of the body. Into the safety of your breath. If your eyes are closed, you can gently let them open, and we'll go through some seated neck releases. So you can have your hands on your lap and just drop your chin toward your chest and start to draw a line with your chin across your collarbones. Just like you're taking a paintbrush or pen and you're just drawing a line from that right collarbone all the way over to the left. And then start to bring your left ear to your left shoulder without any force, just letting the weight of the head drop over. And then reach your right arm down. Reach, reach, reach through those fingertips and feel a little deeper stretch in the right side of the neck. Take a deep breath. And then tilt the chin up slightly, maybe an inch, until you feel the stretch in the front of the neck. Breathe here. Start to tilt your head back a little bit more, as if you're tipping water out of that left ear over your shoulder. Start to gaze up without dropping the head all the way back, just gazing up to stretch the front of the neck. Do some jet your chin forward, like you're stretching the underneath of the lower jaw. Good, and then relax your right arm and start to let your right ear drop over to the right shoulder. And then take your left hand and reach out toward the floor. Breathing here. And then tipping the head back just a little bit till you get into the front of the neck. And then a little bit more, tipping water out of the right ear. Good. Relax your left arm. Start to roll your chin toward your chest again. Doing a couple more side to side. And then look straight ahead. Again, we'll tilt the left ear to the left shoulder. And then just turn the head to look down toward the left. And once your head is turned, take a deep breath. Release. One more deep breath. Release. Roll your chin around toward the right shoulder, and the right ear now will be over the right shoulder. And then turn your head to gaze down toward the right. With your head turned, take a deep breath. And one more. Good. Start to roll the chin toward the chest again. And then look straight ahead and do some shoulder circles and releases here, both directions. Let's take our massage ball in the right hand and just start to work the left side of the chest. And as you press the ball into the chest, start to row your arm back behind you. You can bend the elbow as if you're rowing in a boat, or you can straighten the arm and reach back behind you with the palm facing forward. So you're externally rotating the arm and then reaching back. This can feel nice as well. So we want to stretch the pectoral muscles while pressing on them and kind of inhibiting the movement. So we're going to release any tension or trigger points in the pectoral muscles in the chest. Kind of try to think of undoing any holding patterns that your body has been engaged in during stressful times in the world. The way maybe you were what you're reacting to in the world can tend to bring us into this protective kind of stance in our upper bodies. So we want to just undo that. Give it a little fresh start. Good. Relax your arm now and just let both arms hang, and take a moment to feel any change in sensation or experience in the right side of your upper body. And then change hands. So the ball is in your right hand, and you can start to massage the left side of the chest. You can massage any place that feels good in the chest area. I really like to get along the center line of the breastbone and the sternum here, because in there we have a lot of lymphatic points that we can stimulate to help keep our immune system strong. Keep your breath flowing. Think of inhaling as you open, exhaling as you bring the arm back. Inhaling to open, exhaling back. Take a couple more seconds here to find any spots that might need a little extra attention. Good. Good, and then let your arms rest by your sides again. Take another breath. Feel any shift or change in the upper body. And as you breathe out, connect again to your seat and to your feet. Good, we can take the ball, place it off to the side. For this, you might scoot a little bit forward on your chair if you're not already. We'll move through some cat-cows. So rounding the whole spine, tucking the tailbone underneath. You think of scooping the tailbone and drawing the navel in, reaching out past your knees with your hands, chin toward the chest. In this cat position, go ahead and take a deep breath. And feel the stretch between the shoulder blades, the back, the rhomboids. one more deep breath as you reach and tuck. Good. And as you exhale, come back up to neutral spine. And now we'll go the opposite direction. So those sits bones reach back behind you. Shoulder blades come together. Gaze up. Open the chest. Breathe in. Into our cow. And take 2 breaths here, really opening up through the collarbones and the chest where we just massaged. And then exhale to neutral. And then on your own, you'll round and extend the back. On your own, do a few cat-cows. Let those hands slide forward and back as they need to. Good. And come back to neutral. Bring your arms out to the sides. Pull your shoulder blades together and press through your palms. Feel a stretch through those arms already. Press, press, press. And then start to do little arm circles forward. And then back. Just warming up those rotator cuff muscles and the shoulders. And forward. Keep pressing through your palms. You want to stretch those forearm muscles and back. Good, and now shake it out. And now we'll do some hip circles. So we sometimes do these on the floor. I think it's really interesting to do some of these exercises from a chair because it changes your whole relationship to gravity and what you may or may not notice. So if you're on your chair, oh, that is a loud chair, and you're on the edge, I want you to start to do some circles. So it's as if you have a hula hoop around your waist or your hips, and you're just going to scoop forward. There's that aspect of cat, but then bring the right hip up a little bit, and then you're in your arch, and then the left hip is up a little bit, and then you come back down into your rounded spine. But it's mostly in the lower, I'm exaggerating, it's mostly in this lower hip area. So you might look a little bit like a hula dancer, but for the most part, the upper body is pretty stable. You might see a little movement, but it's hopefully, we're gonna really foster this isolation of the hips and the pelvic complex. This is a great one to do on a physio ball, because the ball moves with you, and as long as you feel stable and supported, it's a great one to do on a physio ball. So just do your best, making some circles. You're activating your core even as you do this. Keep breathing. Good. And relax. So you can sit to the back end of your chair if you need to for this. If your foot's not completely on the floor, it's okay. We won't be here for very long. We're going to extend the right leg out. Squeeze your quad. Squeeze your thigh. Point and flex. Just point and flex. Heating up the legs. And then do circles with your right ankle. And just notice, are they circles? Are they triangles? Is there a smoothness to the movement, or is it feeling sticky? Reverse your circle-like shape. And now lift your leg, lift it nice and high, press through your bottom of your foot, and see if you can spread your toes apart. Spread them apart, even if you're just thinking about spreading them. Maybe you'll get one to separate, maybe none, or maybe all. And then close your toes and squeeze your foot. And just be careful, sometimes cramping can happen if you're not used to this. So just curl the toes, a gentle squeeze, and then open the toes, spread them out, press through the ball of the foot, and then curl and squeeze, and then open and spread. It's so important to give attention to these little muscles of these feet that support us every single day. We want to keep everything awake. Good. Okay, relax. And now I want you to write the alphabet with your right foot. So you can do capitals, you can do little letters, small case, but go through the alphabet. You're going to feel your hip flexor really heating up. But give attention to the detail I pretend that my big toe is the pin, right? And then my foot comes along for the ride. Keep your belly tucked in as you go through your alphabet. Keep that leg up. Don't let it drop. I don't know about you guys. I'm on S. What are you on? If you finished already, you can go back and start over again and tell the rest of us, until I'm finished at least. All right. Oh, I'm at Z. Okay, that leg's nice and warm, so give it some taps. Okay, the left leg's coming up. You're squeezing the quad, flexing the foot, pressing, pressing, pressing to an invisible wall in front of you. Point and flex a few times. These are those subtle things that we do for our body that have a very profound effect on our balance, on our health. Do circles. Change direction. We're going to spread the toes, spread them really wide if you can, and then curl the toes and give them a little squeeze. Open and spread the toes, close and squeeze. A couple more times. Keep that foot lifted, pressing through the ball of the foot. Last time. Good. Relax the foot, but keep the leg up and do your alphabets. And this, if you aren't right side dominant, this side's going to feel interesting. Whatever side is not dominant is going to feel really unusual, right? So this is really good for the brain. We're activating the other side of the brain that maybe we don't use as much. My handwriting is very questionable on this side. Okay, keep going. I'm at Z, so if you're not at Z, you have a free pass. You can relax and do some tapping on the leg there. So sitting on the edge of your chair, if you're not already, go ahead and your feet are hip width apart, the same distance as we are in mountain pose. So this is a nice little a measure of where the feet should be for mountain pose. So when we're in mountain pose, usually the thin side of the block, it would be between the thighs, and that usually helps us to determine the knees over the middle of the ankle, right toward the hip bones, the frontal hip bones. So you've got your feet in mountain pose, excuse me, and now you're going to lift the heels. Just lift the heels and press into the balls of the feet, and then lower the heels, and just do this 10 times. Activating the calves. Good, and now you might have to scoot back on your chair a little bit for this. We're going to just lift the toes and press into the heels. So we're activating the tibialis anterior right here, the shin muscles. Very important for keeping our balance as we get older. If we're not as mindful, we can trip on really small curbs, cracks, because our toes don't lift as high as they need to get us over those things. I've been known to do this myself. This is a really great group of muscles to keep activating. So keep lifting the toes. They won't go very far. Pressing into the heels and lower. Good. Everything is awake now in the lower part of the body, right? So we're waking everything up. Next, this is going to be super fun. We're going to do a butt squeeze. So we're going to activate the gluteal muscles. I want you to squeeze your butt cheeks together. And as you do that, you're going to feel like you get like a ½ an inch taller, possibly, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. So you're going to squeeze your butt cheeks, and you're going to lift up a bit and then lower and squeeze and lower. So this is really helpful for releasing excess tension in the hips, for toning the pelvic floor and the core muscles. So you want to keep your belly engaged and squeeze the butt together. You'll probably feel a little more heat building around the upper leg area. So we can do like 20, 25 of these. You can do this when you're on your Zoom calls. Keep breathing. You can do them fast or you can do them slow. And let's do a couple more. And relax. All right. Do a couple of seated cat-cows. Okay, so next we're going to use our strap. You can scoot back in your chair if you'd like to. Bring the strap around the bottom of your right foot. So when we're holding our straps, we want to make sure that we keep our chest upright and we're not rounding and reaching like this. We want to keep the arms close to the body. Maybe the elbows will be bent. So we're going to work on stretching the hamstring here. Let's see, I don't know the best way to show this to you. So you can lean back a little bit and lift the leg. Or you can hold the leg there and hinge forward. Depending on your chair, depending on your comfort, but your belly is going to be pulled in. I think I'll hinge forward. And feel into the back of your right hamstring. Your foot is flexed. Your toes are pointed toward your nose no matter what position you're taking. 3 more breaths here. And relax. You can hold the strap though. Keep holding the strap and just relax your leg for a moment. The next thing we'll do is bring the straps up. Leg is straight. Take the straps into your right hand and then start to bring your leg out to the right until you get an inner thigh stretch. So this helps us to not get lazy. On the back stretches are wonderful. I love them, but this is a nice reminder that we can't just hang out and just let the leg just do its thing. We really have to stay active. So as the inner thigh is getting a stretch, we're activated. We're connected to the floor. Our core is pulled in. We're sitting up nice and tall. Lots of engagement. Breathe. Bring that strap back to center. Change hands. And just a tiny bit of bring the leg over to the other side. Maybe it'll come up. You can lift it up a little bit and over to the side. Just a little bit. It's not going to go very far until you get an outer hip stretch. Breathe. Good. Now just bend that right knee. Use that strap to help bring your ankle over your left knee or thigh. So you're in a figure 4 stretch. You can leave the strap there if you want. Maybe you'll use it as a little support. So pulling the navel in, start to hinge forward and get into that outer hip. Relax your jaw and your shoulders. With your exhale, can you relax, settle a little more deeply into the shape? And if you're hinged forward, go ahead and press into your leg to rise back up. And bring that right foot back to the floor. And now bring the left strap around your foot, your left foot. And we're flexing the foot, squeezing the quadricep muscle. So the more you squeeze that front muscle, the more the back muscle can relax. You can't have both sides tight, right? So if you activate the quad, then the hamstring can release. The hamstring and the same with the tibialis, the shin muscle. If you activate that, then the calf can release. So choose what shape you're going to take to come into your hamstring stretch, either hinging forward or maybe you're lifting the leg. If you're lifting the leg, be mindful of your lower back. Don't let it round. We want to keep it nice and straight. Breathe into whatever variation of this stretch you've chosen. Coming into the inner thigh stretch, we'll go ahead and hold the strap, both the straps with the left hand, and bring the leg out to the side. As far as you can go with that navel pulled in and engaged, shoulders come down away from the ears. Notice that your core is being used as you bring your leg back to center. Change hands, maybe lifting the leg a bit and crossing the body just a little bit. Flex your left foot a lot. And then bend the left knee. Use your strap to help guide your ankle over your right knee or thigh. And hinge into your figure 4 stretch. You can press on the knee, you can lean on the knee a little bit if that works for you to help guide it down without too much force. Good, let's press ourselves up. Let go of your strap. You can place your strap off to the side. So we're going to come into some standing poses off the chair. Before we do that, I wanted to show you or work with you on a lunge pose. So you'll turn sideways on your chair. I'm going to have my left knee be my front knee, my front bent knee. And I'm going to sit on the edge of my chair. And I'm going to bring my right leg back behind me and it's bent and I'm on the toes of my back foot. So the nice thing about this is we can really isolate the movement of the pelvis because we're supported. We don't have to like worry about, losing our balance or focus on all those other details. So just having your hands on your hips, this subtle movement, I want you to arch your back, flare your rib cage, right? And then start to bring the ribs back in, stitch them in so that they're over the hips. At the same time, tuck your tailbone underneath you just a little bit. It won't go very far. And feel this front psoas, the front hip flexor, really start to lengthen. Once you've tucked your tailbone as much as you can, try to straighten your back leg a little bit more. And then you've got all this going on back here. Don't forget your front foot. Press into that front foot to give you some levity. Remember the butt squeezes? Think of the butt squeeze to draw everything in and then reach your arms up. This is our supported lunge, crescent lunge. And then release and bring it around to the other side. I don't know about you, I feel a lot more happening sometimes when I do this with the chair in places I might not notice otherwise. So that front foot, the right knee, right foot is right under the knee. Back knee is slightly bent, toes are on the floor, hips are square. Practice really arching the lower back and opening the chest and then pulling everything slowly in, back into alignment. Pull the belly in, scoop the tailbone underneath you. Subtle movement, lots of effect here. And then with the tailbone tucked, start to straighten the leg, maybe just a tiny bit more. Keeping that groundedness and strength. Lift the arms, maybe gazing up. Think of those butt squeezes. Draw everything in toward the midline of your body so that it helps to strengthen you through your reach. Root down through those feet. Good, and release. Now you're going to come to the edge of your chair and open your legs really wide for goddess pose. Press your knees away. Toes are at like 10 and 2 on a clock. Bring your right arm to the inside of your right thigh. Lift your left arm up and over. Stay connected to your left sits bones. Make sure that it's rooted to the chair and reach through those arms. Nice little side bend here. Breathe. No, so notice that we're not sagging into the stabilizing arm. We're just propping ourselves up and then change sides. Using the left forearm to prop us up. Lift the right arm up and over, reaching at a diagonal, and breathe. Good, and release. All right, bring those legs together. I feel like I'm in some jazz thing, some jazz dance thing. Okay, you can let your chair go. Just notice for a second how your body feels. I know we were sitting a long time, but we were moving a lot. So what are you noticing in your body? I'm feeling more grounded, more connected to the floor beneath me. What are you noticing? We're going to do some standing circles. So legs are wide and the hips are just going to do some circles, just releasing anything in the lower back and hips that you need to. Keep your knees soft. Good, and then maybe the legs will come in a little bit closer. We'll do some standing twists. So soft fists are going to gently tap the chest and the lower back or the kidney area. Full deep breaths, stimulating all that life force within. Good. Bring your twists to stillness. We'll go right into our 3 thumps. So tapping your fingers under your collarbones, right across the top of the chest, under the neck, collarbones. You're going to drop your fingers below those collarbones and tap and breathe in and out through the nose. So stimulating and supporting our immune system through these thumps, through these taps. Now tap the center of the chest. Take a big breath in and let out an ah sound. Ah, good. And now knocking on the sides of the ribs. You can knock with your knuckles. You can massage with your thumbs. You can tap. Just getting the sides of the ribs for the spleen meridian. Good. Shake it all out. And now we'll do wood chopper today. I think wood chopper would be great for today. What do you guys think? So you get to use your diaphragm. You get to use your voice from the strength of your seat of power right here. It's not from just the throat, but from the diaphragm. So I won't do it loud because of the microphone, but I know that those of you who have done this with me before know what I'm looking for. So we're going to open the legs wide, bend the knees, clasp your hands. You're going to inhale and reach up. And then as you exhale, chop through that wood, or whatever it is that you would like to break through, right? And if you have any lower back stuff, just don't go down as low. Some of you might go all the way down. It's up to you. We're going to do several. Nice and loud. Big deep breath. Chop through it. Break through. one. Good. Standing in mountain pose. Good. So a few more standing poses. You're going to want your block, one block at least with you. And we'll come into a warrior 2 pose. So let's let that left leg be the starting leg to the front of your mat. And bring your block to the outer edge of that left foot. Coming into warrior 2, bend the front knee. Press the whole foot of the whole edge of the back foot into the mat and reach up. Tuck the shoulder blades in toward each other. Open your heart. Gaze over that left hand. Find your warrior. Find that quality of strength and courage. Find your roots in this pose. Really feel your feet connected and grounded. From here, we'll come into side angle, so bring that left arm inside of the left leg, reach your right arm up. Here's where, if you need a block, you can use a block inside or outside your leg, and reach that right arm over the head, or you can keep it up. Tuck your tush under you a bit, really bring the hips forward, and think of leaning the upper body back just a little bit. Good. We're just going to start to straighten the left knee and make this our triangle pose. So pull the belly in, lean back. You lean into an invisible wall, pressing the hips forward. Bend the left knee, press into both feet to rise up. Bring your hands to your heart. We're going to just change directions here now. So heel toe your feet so that that right leg is your leading leg. Toes point straight forward to the top of your mat. Back leg turns in slightly. Bend the knee. Bring your block with you if you think you might need it. Nice deep bend in the knee. Hands on the hips. Notice if your left hip is hiking up. If it is, press that hip down so your hips are level, which is going to bring a lot more work into that front groin area. Let those arms come up. Gaze over the right arm now. Pull the belly in, draw the shoulder blades together. Side angle, bring the right arm inside the right leg, lift the left arm. Maybe bringing it to a diagonal reach. Where's your breath? Breathing in and out through the nose, nice and calm, soft breath. You can straighten that front knee now. Maybe the block will come to the outer edge of your ankle if you need it. And just reach straight up, triangle pose. Tuck your buns underneath you. Maybe you'll gaze up at your hand. You don't have to. Do what feels good for your neck. Are you in your core? Are you activating the belly? Are you scissoring the inner thighs toward each other? Good. Bend the front knee. Bring those arms back up. And now turn all toes to face the long edge of your mat. For Prasarita Padottanasana, so our nice wide-legged forward fold. Hinge forward. Come all the way down to the floor or a block, or multiple blocks if you would like that or need that. Release the weight of your head. Let out an audible sigh. Again, breathing in, let out a sigh. Imagine all the contents of your brain, the ones that you don't need, that don't help you, imagine they could just pour out of the top of your head for now. Just let them be fertilizer for the earth. Rock your weight slightly forward to the balls of your feet. And then press into your hands so that you can come halfway up. And start to heel toe your feet together. And come up nice and slow. Okay. Last standing pose is our tree pose. So that left leg is your standing leg. If you want to bring your chair back over for extra support, please feel free to do so. So choose where your bent leg is gonna be. Are your toes gonna stay on the floor today? Calf, inner thigh. Wherever you choose to place that foot, make sure you're pressing the leg into the foot into the leg. Think of those butt squeezes, drawing everything into the center. As you draw into the center, it's like sap is rising up. Life force is rising up. There's more stability. Grow your branches. Slowly come out of this side. And come to the second side. That same idea of, are you sinking into one hip? So hands on the hips to possibly draw the left hip up a little bit to meet the right hip. Growing roots from your feet down into the ground, down through your mat. Really connecting to something that's rooted and strong. Connecting yourself to something that's unshakable. Even if you're shaking a little bit, you're still connected to something that's not shaking. One more breath. And we release. Good, shake it out. And then come on down to your seat. We're actually going to come onto our backs, so make sure you have a block with you. And just hug your knees into your chest for a moment. Rocking from side to side. And then bring your feet to the floor close to your buttocks. So you're in the about hip width apart with those knees, setting yourself up for a bridge pose. So slide your shoulders down your back and then start to tuck your tailbone, press into your feet, lift into your bridge. So pressing into the feet, focusing on that more and focusing on the quadriceps, the shooting energy forward through the knees, rather than focusing on squeezing the buttocks. You can shimmy those shoulders underneath your back if you want, or you can keep them right where they are. Take 3 breaths here in your bridge pose. Start to lower yourself down. Hug your knees into your chest again. And then bring your knees over to the left. Now if it's too much of a deep twist for your back, you can always just shift your hips to the right a little bit and then bring your knees to the left, which will create a little more space in the lower back. And gaze over the right arm. Pull the belly in, connect to your core, and then lift your legs. Maybe you're shifting your hips over to the left a little bit. Bring the knees in and let them fall to the right, gazing over the left arm. Coming out of the twist, see if there's anything else that the body needs before you Relax your body and rest in Shavasana. Let the sound of the bell invite you into a place of rest, non-doing. Letting the body settle into gravity. As you release all effort and rest for these next few moments, perhaps coming back to the breath, breathing in, I am grateful for this breath. Breathing out, I am grateful for this moment. I am grateful for this breath. I am grateful for this moment. This is an amazing life, a gift of moments precious and dear, profound in joy, profound in sorrow. This is an amazing life, a gift of moments glorious and holy, rich in laughter, rich with tears. This is an amazing life, a gift, a song, a fantastic story of solitude and adventure, a tale of darkness and light, a psalm of frailty and endurance, a poem written in time and motion, in stillness and silence, in shouts and whispers, in mourning and wondrous celebration. This is an amazing life, a river of blessings, a gift to cherish in awe and wonder. Blessed are the gifts of life. Blessed is the giver of life. Blessed is this amazing life. Ashrei, yoshvei, veitecha, Oria hallelujah, Oria hallelujah, Ashrei, yoshvei, veitecha, Oria hallelujah, Oria hallelujah, Ashrei, yoshvei, veitecha, Oria hallelujah, Oria hallelujah, Happy are those who dwell in your house. They forever praise you. Let your breath deepen. Awaken all of your senses. A sense of touch, the weight of your body, your sense of smell and taste. Your ability to perceive light and shapes. Your hearing, noticing everything fully embodied, fully present. And take your time rising up to a seated position with your hands resting at your heart. Remembering that no matter what we are going through in every moment, one of the safest places we can return is to our breath, to our bodies, and to our breath, to our awareness of breathing. We can begin to come home, to return. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free. May all beings have peace. May it be so. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Shalom.